show, first of all. And what's your favorite joke to tell during the show?
Oh my God, my favorite joke to tell. Well, we have all of the genies. We have our own sets of jokes that we do, and we all kind of bring a different genie to Aladdin. Mine is more reminiscent of like Charles Nelson Riley, if you know who he is. He used to be a Match Game. And I do my sort of trademark thing is I do this thing called the hug train, where I hug Jafar in this really awkward moment, and it usually gets a really, really huge laugh from the audience.
Yeah, I saw that on your YouTube video.
Yeah, that's actually on the YouTube video.
Yeah, there are actually a bunch of YouTube videos that I've seen people taking, and I don't know, all the genies look just like you, to be honest. Like, when I saw the show on Saturday, actually, I thought you were in the show at first, because this guy who was playing the genie, he looks just like you.
Well, it's true. Once we're in the makeup, we actually all look very much alike. Sometimes the cast members can't even get the part until we open up our mouth. Yeah, but that's part of the fun of it, though. But if you've seen the show several different times, you really you can tell which genie is which, because all of us play the genie very differently.
Yeah. So Jeff, what was your audition process like to get the part, if you can answer that?
Yeah, sure. I actually started doing the show 3 years ago. The audition process actually pretty grueling, quite honestly. I've been acting for pretty much all my life, and this was one of the tougher auditions I had to go through, because not only did I have to sing and dance, but they also wanted to hear me do impressions. I had to do, I had to read from the script several times, and they really wanted to see how far they could push me, because, as you know, this character, which was created by Robin Williams in the movie, he's pretty out there. So they really put me through my paces for this.
Yeah. That sounds tough. But do you like playing the genie?
I love playing the genie. It's really fun, because it's one of those things that, as an actor, it really stretches me. I like to be challenged, and I thrive in front of a live audience. So I really, really enjoy playing that character. It just lets me play. It gives me freedom, but at the same time, I get to show a really great and a lot of people happy.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, see, I'm asking these questions because, as you know, like when we first met, I told you I'm an actor too. So, it would be great to, understand how all this stuff works.
Yeah, well, it's pretty fun. The thing about also doing the genie is that when we come in, we all have to be strong in comedy, and we also have to be very good improvisers, because, as you know, if you've seen the show, parts of the show are very structured, and then parts of the show are very loose, where if the audience is starting to respond, I'm going to start to respond to the audience. So, that's part of the fun of it, to see what the genie's going to say.
Yeah. So if you could play any other character, what character would you want to play?
Well, in Aladdin?
In Aladdin and in general.
Well, in Aladdin, I also play Iago. I do both roles. On Mondays, usually I play the genie, and then on other days, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I usually play Iago as well, which is the smart-ass bird. And, and that brings its own sets of challenges, because that involves puppeteering work, and that's a lot of fun, too.
You have to emulate Gilbert Gottfried?
No, I don't, but, my Iago sort of comes out that way anyway. He's kind of a Jewish Iago, it just sort of comes out that way. And, the other guys play it a little bit differently. My Iago's more like a Borscht Belt comedian. But, as far as other roles, I'm sorry, go on.
Yeah, I remember on the documentaries on Aladdin, they originally wanted him to be more like Zazu, and then they realized it would be funnier if they got Gilbert Gottfried to do it, and then they gave the British butler type sound to Zazu in Lion King.
Right. Yeah, and the great thing about working on Aladdin that you should know is that we're not trying to imitate the movie. This version of Aladdin has a little bit of it actually has a very different look than what the movie is. You know, what happens at the Hyperion Theater is a stylized version of Aladdin. It is not the movie. It doesn't, you know, the genie does not look like the genie that you're going to find in the park. Jasmine looks different than she does when you see her in the park. So this is sort of a stylized version, kind of like what happened with the musical Beauty and the Beast when it moved to Broadway. It's that same type of a thing where we sort of take liberties with it, even though we're using the same music and the same story. It's a stylized version.
Yeah.
But yeah, because you can watch the movie at home, so, you know, if you don't change it somewhat, it won't be unique.
Yeah, it's also a condensed version.
Yeah, we wanted to put our own unique spin on it too, you know, because, you know, you could just go and rent the movie. We wanted to present a version of Aladdin that people have never seen before.
Yeah.
So, like, what character would you like to play in general besides the genie?
As far as an actor goes, you know, I do a lot of musicals. I work in TV and film, and I really like playing eccentric, very out there characters. I create a lot of my own work, and I do a lot of like one-man shows and types of stuff like that. So I like to create a lot of my own work. But as far as, for instance, like musical stuff, God, I've really done a lot of my favorite roles already. I mean, I think some of my favorite roles I played were Seymour in Little Shop of Horrors. I did that for a while. I've done, my dog is about to bark. Hang on, if you hear barking in the background, it's not me. It's my dog. Yeah, and I have a lot of, I don't know, actually. Here's a role that I'd like to do. Now that I'm a little bit older, I'd love to play the baker in Into the Woods.
Yeah.
You know, I like to do odd, challenging roles. I'm not a leading man. I do the quirky, crazy stuff.
Yeah, like the genie.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've seen your work on YouTube before, and I'm very impressed, to be honest. Like when I first heard about Aladdin the musical and Disney's California Adventure, I just thought, you know, it's just another show, because I mean I've seen plenty of Broadway shows before, and I'm not exactly the Broadway type, but I like some of their shows, especially, you know, Disney musicals, obviously. But when I heard that Aladdin was a condensed version, I wasn't so sure. So when I actually went into the show with low expectations, but when I sat down in the very first row and watched it, you know, it was insane. Like, it was crazy, especially whoever played the genie.
Yeah, it's pretty eye-popping. I mean, it's like, you know, it's really, this is the thing that's really unique about Aladdin is in a theme park is that it really provides people with a Broadway experience. You're looking at a $26 million mega musical that's done in 45 minutes, and that's one of the reasons why we're so happy that Aladdin is actually staying, so that people can really have that theatrical experience that they deserve.
Yeah.
Sadly, when I went to Disneyland California Adventure back in 2006, Aladdin wasn't playing when I was there, and it was starting as soon as I left, so I didn't get a chance to see it. I watched a video of it almost as soon as I got back. So.
Well, Sean, you're going to have to come back out.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be moving there when I work for Imagineering, hopefully. But but I would love to see it, and I'm hoping it's still there. And I'm hoping they repaint the Hyperion. It's going to look nice.
Yeah, well, we're actually now extended indefinitely. We were going to close August 15th, but because of the fans of the show and because, Disney's Aladdin Musical Spectacular is really the #1 rated attraction, and that's including rides and everything in California Adventure, they decided that they were going to keep it open.